he had time that day. When that video dropped, he was like responding to everybody on Twitter. Like like Razi mentioned him saying, you know, I've been told I'm going to hell all my life. I go to hell and y'all still mad. Like he even came out the next day because it was like he's coming out with these shoes that Nike apparently didn't have anything to do with. So people were like getting mad at Nike at first. So the next day he was like, we gonna drop these Chick-fil-A's. Y'all happy now?
What up, what up, what up, what up? It's Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg, joined my co-host, Razi and Buff. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind.
Another shooting. I mean...
Which one?
Exactly. The Columbus, Ohio. Another shooting, man. I'm not going to say much on it. Because the opinions are very, very strong. The opinions are very strong that I disagree with people that I respect. I respect LeBron James. I respect Jamel Hill, formerly of ESPN. I respect the homie Dragonfly Jones on Twitter. But, you know, I do try to speak up when I don't agree with, oh, this is just another racist cop. No. Listen, I don't mind you two disagreeing with me. I don't mind the listeners disagreeing with me. If my daughter was in that pink sweatsuit that's in that video and is about to be stabbed by, what was her name, Ma'Khia?
Yeah.
Then I'm thankful for that police officer. And that's the way I see it. Yes, there are other ways he probably could have, like people say, first off, tasers aren't always effective. That's not a 100% effective measure of controlling somebody. Don't watch too many movies and think that cops can just shoot somebody in the leg or the hand or whatever else you've seen on these movies to stop somebody. Don't get caught up in how many shots it was. Cops are taught to shoot until the threat is stopped. He shot 4 times. That 4th shot is when she fell. I get it. I listen, I've seen your videos where you've posted where white people have had knives in their hands. It's kind of apples to oranges because the videos I've seen that people have been posting, nobody else's life is in danger except the police officer. And it's up to him if he feels threatened enough to shoot that person. But I'm talking about this teenager was about to stab another teenager in point blank range. I haven't seen any other videos like that. And to me, in a split-second decision, he did the right but unfortunate thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not celebrating that Ma'Khia has been killed. It's tragic. She's only 16 years old. But at that given moment, I have to side with the police unless I see something else different. I know one of the officers yelled, "Blue Lives Matter." That was definitely not appropriate, and I disagree with that. But other than that, if my daughter is about to be stabbed by somebody, hopefully me or someone else can stop that threat, as Malcolm X said, by any goddamn means necessary. So miss me with the taser. I saw somebody say mace. Are you kidding me? Mace? You fucking kidding me? No.
He's a preacher now, right?
You stupid. Like Mace ain't gonna do it, dog. Like she was like, it's unfortunate, but I'm not putting him in the Derek Chauvin category.
Yeah, I think when you really kind of sit back and you remember when you were like, this is why Democrats lose, or this is why liberals always lose.
Yeah.
This right here, using this as another kind of example or use case for you, it takes away from your actual argument when you talk about systemic racism and racism in policing and things like that. Like this was I mean, I agree with you, Buff. It's one of those things that if I was in that, I'm putting myself in that police officer's shoes, I would have shot too. And that's what folks have to think about. It's like, if you can go down the road of police officers shouldn't be armed and yada yada yada. If you want to make that argument, you can make that argument. Police officers in Britain aren't armed, but that, like you said, that young lady would have been stabbed, and we would have just. Now, if that's what we want police officers to do, is to 100% be reactive and just address it once the crime has been committed, and not be proactive and preemptive, then that's an argument that you can have, and you can make that case, and you can take it up and become a legislator and change that. But as of right now, what we ask the police to do is to proactively preempt, like you said, in the case of life or limb, and making sure that people can walk away. So he did, I think, the right thing, and like you said, the unfortunate thing, but it's what needed to happen in that moment of, oh my God, he's about to stab this girl. I got to stop her.
I saw
and
that.
if you saw the whole video, he told her to stop.
Mhm.
Like when she pushed the other guy down, he told her to stop.
Yeah.
When she ran, he told her to stop. And he waited till she was actually almost about to thrust before he fired.
Yeah.
So yeah, like my thing is, when you really get down to, I mean, split seconds, truthfully,
Yes.
on it, I mean, it's a hard decision. And that guy has to go home and know he killed somebody. Don't think that every time a police officer kills somebody, they go home like, oh, everything's hunky-dory and everything. Like, these guys have to go through like a lot of therapy. I mean, I know police officers that have had to go through therapy, and that shit, it weighs on them that they had to take somebody's life. So, you know, it's not this just cut and dry thing. You guys are always laughing at me about my nuance, but it's not cut and dry. It's nuance in all of this.
To pick up on what you said, the number one killer of police officers is not being killed in the line of duty by a suspect. It's suicide. And, you know, for those that don't like cops, I know you probably don't care, but I'm just saying, to speak to what Razi just said, police officers deal with a lot. And not all of them, when they kill somebody, goes home and say, ha, let me kick my feet up. You know what I mean? Like, some of them really most of them, I would say, take it hard. The number one killer of police officers is suicide. And also, shout out to all the adults that ain't do a goddamn thing. You know, like they everybody criticizing the police. I saw a bunch of adults in that video, and when
that was one old dude that was fighting with him.
Yeah. So
but it's we're in a standby society. You stand by and watch. You stand back and watch. It's not the neighborhood. It's not it takes a village anymore. It is you stand by and watch. So there's a few things here. I briefly watched the video, only watched it once. I refuse to watch it again.
I don't blame you.
Because it's something that sits in my soul when I see not even just a black life taken. You know, we talked about this before, Razi, being in the military. It's weird because in 2003, when we went to see somebody die, like take their last breath, was devastating. Today, we see that once a week. We see people die. So that's just crazy. The first thing was, I'm with you, Buff. You know, like, he had to make a decision. His decision was justified. I don't want to get into right or wrong. You can't, that's the thing about it. This is, once again, this is not the fight we have. Like, I don't like to call it a good shoot. It's just, you know what I mean? It was justified. Like, it's because if something would have happened, if the young lady would have stabbed the other girl and, let's say, harmed her, injured her, or killed her, and he still shot her, so it's two dead people. Why didn't he shoot her sooner? To me, this is not necessarily a black and white issue, but because in the society we live in today, it's a black and white issue. And what's sad is the people we are taught and that we pay to protect and serve, innately we question their actions. That's what's bigger than any of this. It's like, even when you see the video and you're like, yeah, I get it, but you, in the back of your mind, and now not even the back of your mind anymore, in the front of your mind, it's like, would he have shot a white girl? Would he have shot a white boy? And it's not saying it's right or wrong. All of it's justified, but it's like, would there have been a different outcome? We can't say yes, we can't say no, but the fact that we have to question that to me is where our society has gone. So we're already into a question without even having a question. So since we're talking about police shootings, let's talk about the Virginia man that was shot by a sheriff deputy after calling 911 for help.
So fill me in, because I've heard about it, but I don't know. I've seen it. It takes me a while to like check out these stories because it gets exhausting at times. So I'm gonna need you to give me the details on this one.
Real quick. Isaiah Brown, 32 years old, car broke down on the side of the road. Okay. Sheriff officer picked him up, brought him home. A few minutes later, he gets a call from 911. He goes back, pulls up, shoots the same dude that had just rode home with him.
What?
Yeah. Razi, did I miss anything?
No, other than buddy that got shot, I don't know if he's gay, but the picture made him seem like he identifies that way. And so my question first time when I read it was, what happened on that ride home? I feel like that cop was trying to cover up a little something. A little embarrassment.
So I read the article before I saw the picture. I'm like, that makes no sense. And when I got out of it, I'm like, oh, okay.
He got
and I'm saying that's what happened.
Was he shot 10 times, was it?
Yeah, I think he was shot.
I think that's what I read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 10 bullet wounds.
But wait a minute.
Yeah. What? He's not dead. He's in intensive care, last I read.
Oh, sheesh.
So
he's got a story to tell. Yeah. But the family, what the 911 call was because of he was getting into it with his brother. And so it was like, calling a 911 for almost like a DV or whatever between him and his brother. And then the cop just showed up and they were like, the cop just came out, like walked in and started shooting. Like no questions, nothing. He didn't have he didn't tell him hands up or freeze or nothing. Like literally walked in and started shooting at him.
Wow. But once again, going back to yours, how quickly was that video released with the young lady? Video hasn't been released to this yet. They're still investigating.
True.
That's a whole nother conversation. But it's just polarizing. Like, for one, we don't trust the police. When I first heard, it's like, they shot another black man. Then it's like, this seems like there's a little more going on. But 10 times. So I pray to God this young man pulls through because I want to hear the story. Because it just doesn't add up.
Did it happen the same day as Ma'Khia?
I think this happened last night.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get the Derek Chauvin verdict, and then we get the Ma'Khia shooting, and now this.
I think I want to see. This might be completely different, bro. This might be completely different. So
it might not be on a racism thing. But the thing about it is, like, it just goes back to every police shooting isn't your use case that you can kind of add into your tool bag to be like, oh, see, we're going to rail against police officers. So we just have to be more discerning about what we speak out against and what we question. And I will say we can question it all, but at the same time, we need to be discerning when we try to kind of prop it up and use that as a straw man or something like that.
Buff, go look at the picture in the group from earlier this morning.
Oh, I saw the picture. Talking about of the victim.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. He did look. I like how Razi put it.
I hate you. What's going on in your world, bro? I know you watched Mortal Kombat. Is it worth my time?
It's good, man. It is a COVID time movie. I don't know if you've kind of noticed that quality of movies have not been that great during this COVID time over the last year. It's one of those. It sets itself up for 2 or 3 more of these. It's a popcorn flick where you can go in there and watch a whole bunch of fight scenes and gore and blood and that. And if that's what you want, then great. Now, if you're looking for a storyline and a plot, it's not there. It literally is, how do we get the fighters in position for the next fight scene? Okay, boom, fight scene. How do we get them to the next position for a fight scene? Boom, fight scene. So I mean, but the fight scenes are good. The choreography's good. Special effects are really good in it. The acting's just okay. But I mean, it's a good use of your time. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Alrighty.
Yo, what's the Marvel movie with was it Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi?
Oh,
now Shang-Chi looks good,
man.
Yeah.
Well, what am I missing? Something came out today?
It's coming out this fall.
No, the trailer dropped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the trailer
I haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But let's stop right here. We mentioned it. Unless you guys are gonna bring it up in your question, how do you feel about the trial verdict?
Like, yeah, that was going to be one of that was okay. Actually going to be my question. So I just feel like we can't. I don't want to gloss over it.
Right.
I don't want to be an hour in. It's like, all right, this happened, but we're cutting it close. So, all right, fellas. Is Sophie there, Razi, or is she on a date?
Nah, she's out. Her grandma's in town. Jenica's mom's in town, so she's out with her. But I will tell you, she was telling me a story before she left, and it was hilarious. So I'm just going to share it with y'all. She was telling me about some king that she was reading about in school, and he was only like 12 inches tall. And he was like a terrible, terrible king. But he did make a good ruler.
Okay, I'll give you that. I saw it coming. I saw it coming.
I chuckled. Yeah, I chuckled. Yeah.
But your transitions are getting better, sir.
Your transitions are, on the spot. So
yeah, your transitions are being a lot better. So I like that. I respect that. That was a good one.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody's gonna chuckle at it. Yeah.
I chuckled. Got a chuckle out of me. So what is everybody sipping?
Oh yeah. I'm on the Uncle Nearest. It was my last little cup that I had of it, so I went ahead and just killed the bottle.
Okay, what are you on, Buff?
I got a Moscow Mule, but I had to use some apple flavored Ciroc because someone put the top too tight on the regular flavored Ciroc.
And who would that someone be?
Well, my wife said it was me. But if I'm strong enough to put it on that tight, why am I not strong enough to take it off?
so who else would it be?
Jasmine
been in the vodka.
I know, right? She's like, I made the AB on the road. Let me celebrate.
If I close it real tight, they'll think they did it. Never suspect me.
Yeah. Well, I just finished off my Uncle Nearest and put a splash of ginger ale in it. So.
Can we please get guidance in more stores, please? Because I've been.
Are we gonna have guidance on the boat?
I've been waiting forever for my two bottles to come.
I'll bring some guidance.
Thank you, Ryzen. Thank you. Can we please get whoever's listening more guidance in stores, please?
All righty. So I think we've been switching up for the last few weeks. Does anybody want to volunteer to jump it off, or you want me to run into it?
I mean, we could just jump into, like I said, I was going to ask about the Chauvin trial and how you guys felt and everything like that. So we can just jump off with that if y'all want to and use that one. So we know we got guilty on all three counts of murder, what is third degree, second degree, and manslaughter. Mm-hmm. So they gave him guilty on all three of those. So my question really is, and Ferg, we kind of talked about it a little bit on the other day, is were you surprised? If not, were you expecting were you kind of in line or not? And then how you feel about it. So really just kind of three parts, but really just, how you guys feel.
Go ahead and take it, Buff, because he talked to me the other day.
I'll answer your question, Razi, and I think what I'm going to say is going to pretty much answer it. I just want to talk about the roller coaster of anxiety and just overall feelings I had, because leading up to the verdict, I kept saying, they're going to find him guilty. Like I know we've been let down before, but this is the one time they're going to get it right. They're going to get it right. And then it's just something about when they said they're going to announce the verdict today. I got fucking nervous. And I started doubting myself. I'm like, damn, they might not find him guilty. And I think I might have put it in the group meet chat. I'm like, yo, they might just find him on the second degree manslaughter. Like I started doubting what I had been saying to myself months and months ahead of time. Like, they're going to find him guilty, to like, they may not. Like, that's how many times we've been let down. That's how much doubt we have in the system. That's how many times we've watched people just get away with taking the life of a Black person. So it's just like when they announced that the verdict was coming, I just all of a sudden, and like I've said on this show, like I'm not watching the trial every day. I'm not going to get caught up. And I meant that I didn't watch the trial every day. I was not caught up in it. But when they made the announcement, it was as though I had watched every day, because the emotions that people have felt watching it every day, I automatically started feeling like, oh, what's going to happen if they find him not guilty? Like, I was scared for the country. I was worried for the country. I was already prepared to be angry for that. But they did the right thing. I'm not one of those people that feel like, oh, we're on our way to, all police officers being put on notice, the justice system changing for the better. I'm not in that camp yet. I'm just in the camp of they got one right. We still have a lot of work to do, and let's keep pushing. But I'm happy they got this one right, because I think this one, out of all of them, we got Ahmaud Arbery coming up. We got a couple others coming up. This one, though, if they had got this one wrong, I have no idea what would have happened to the country, but I think it would have burned down. So I'm happy that they got this one right.
So I put it this way. We were all athletes. We've all been competitors throughout our life. We've all trained and had faith in our abilities. So I kind of looked at it. I guess I can compare it to a track meet. I could train. I could get ready. I had all the faith in my ability. I knew my times. I knew my splits. But the day of the meet, when I'm walking down to the track and when it's time to compete, I got those pregame jitters. It's like, how is this going to go? Did everything we do, I know people don't work harder than me. I know people don't train harder than me. I know what I do. I know the facts are right here. But that doesn't mean shit when the race starts. And that's how I felt. It's like, I felt like there's no way they can get away with this. There's no way they can get away with this. And I mean, we talked about that. And we were never, blind to the fact that this is America and that there was a way that they get away with it. But we just felt like this is completely different than everything we've seen so far. And I felt so confident until the day I started getting nervous when I heard that the jury was in deliberation. Like it was like, oh, like it's about to come to a head. And the closer we got to a verdict, the more nervous I got. I was super anxious. I remember I was at work, or I was working, and I'm texting back and forth with my coworkers on something else about work. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know why I'm texting y'all. I'm over today. My mind's not in it. And everybody's like, yeah, same way. I don't even know what we're doing here. And they were completely in line with, I don't even know. I can only imagine how you feel. Everybody felt a certain sense of tension. And once that first verdict came, because I think I text Razi I started psyching myself. There's no way that he's going to get not guilty on all three. But what if he gets 2 out of 3? What if he gets 1 out of 3? Does that mean that I almost look at it as that 3/5 of a citizen thing, where it's like, yeah, you murdered a black guy, but you kind of, we're going to give you a little wiggle room here. Like I started playing out all these scenarios in my mind. It's like, is it worse for him to get 2 or 1 count than it is for him to get completely scot-free? Because we're gonna give you niggers something, niggers with the hard ER something. And I just went through. I went through all these emotions, and when it happened, I was speechless. I was just like, man, this is real, and I was ecstatic, super super happy. But then I took a step back and was like, so what it did for me is it set the bar of how far somebody has to go to get convicted of, or how far a police officer can go to get convicted of murder. So at this point, anything below kneeling on a nigga's neck for 9 minutes is still acceptable, because we haven't proven that we're human enough, or they care about us enough that anything less would be, you know, he would be convicted of it. If he would have kneeled on his neck for 3 minutes and he died because he was fat and overweight and he had asthma, it's like, well, he died of asthma, not because of this. You know, would we be in the same case? It was like, I started just second guessing, like, man, did they do this because they had to do this? Like, I knew they had to do this, was like, but anything less, he could have got off. You know, like even Chauvin, what was polarizing is Chauvin's face when the verdict came out. Yeah. And he was like, really?
He was surprised, like, yeah. He looked like that white boy meme where he be like, you know, his eye, he blinks his eyes and super surprised.
Chauvin did himself in. What's scary is if he had just shown
remorse,
10% more remorse when he was on, like once the people that were filming was like, he's not moving. He if he had just jump, oh my God, like, oh, and act like he was trying to, like, he probably would have beat this.
Bro, there's 30 times that he could do that. When you look at
him with his hands in his pocket and that smug look on his face, it's like even the most racist of the racists is like, dog, you got to at least try to, like, hide it a little bit. God,
you know?
Like,
you
put some crack on him or something. It was so crazy. Even when the paramedics got there, he didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
The dude has been lifeless for a couple of minutes, and you're still kneeling. The paramedics had to physically push you or force you off this guy. Like, and it's to me, it was about Chauvin. Like you said, this was a trial about America, and it was like it was a win, but it's kind of like, was it really? Because it's like you only can do so much. Like
I think it was a win. We have to take what we, you know, the wins that we do get. We got to celebrate the wins,
because
right?
It's better than how would we be sitting right now if he would have got off.
Exactly. And so, you know, I think the jury did what they were supposed to do. I think they came to the right decision on it. And like you guys have said, I was anxious the entire time. I didn't think, I actually thought he was probably going to get off because of, I hate to say how poorly the defense did, but I almost felt probably like Chauvin felt, where it's like, I just got to make the case well enough that I'll get one standout, because I just got to flip one juror. If I flip one juror, then it's a hung jury and I'm good. I'm walking home. And so I think they felt comfortable enough to give that mediocre, crappy defense and then just say, well, we'll we got somebody in there that wink, wink. I'm innocent no matter what. And that's what I went in thinking that, like, he was going to get off. The rational side of me was like, okay, maybe second degree. I didn't think he was going to get third. I was telling you that, Ferg. I thought they were going to leave the third off because they were going to, like, I envisioned third degree murder kind of as you walking in like, I'm about to kill this person, like, almost premeditated, or, I wish a nigga would type thing. And so I didn't think that he was going to actually get third degree. So I was really surprised about that. But then, like you guys talked about, his face of super surprise is what really kind of cemented me wanting to celebrate. Like, I wanted to celebrate because I'm like, yeah, you thought you was getting off. And so it really flipped kind of how I was going to react. I because always hear about, being a good winner growing up. You use a sports analogy. You're a good winner. You don't rub it in their face and stuff like that. But this is one time that, man, I wanted to rub it in their face. I want to rub it in whoever's face that thought that he would be okay and would get off.
But who was it? I don't think I've come across
white supremacists. There were some white supremacists.
Well, I don't know any.
And those blue, those Blue Lives Matter folks that was like, it really doesn't matter what a cop does. Then, they can pretty much kill with impunity. There's folks out there like that. He has supporters. And so, those are the folks that were making the excuse, talking about, oh no, he had health conditions and that's what killed him. It wasn't the kneeling on his neck for, 8 minutes or, those types of things. So there are people that supported him. And I mean, I hope they watched the trial close enough that eventually they even saw that no, he was just a piece of shit. But I don't think so. Most of those folks are what we said uninformed or unsophisticated,
Byron
and they're
called
watching
him
Fox
stupid.
News, and Fox News is spinning it, and so they're getting just the news from there.
No, you said dumb. Sorry.
Oh yeah, if you say so.
Byron said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week.
So that's the thing, man. I hope at least a few of them came around to see that what he did was the wrong thing. We'll see.
And I think the good thing about it is I think Black America sees it as what it is. It's not, I haven't heard or seen anybody that's like, we've made it. Like the world. The closest.
Most of Black America is like, okay, on to the next. Like you said, the
closest thing I can compare it to
those
is,
trials, yeah.
I think, and maybe I'm exaggerating, the last big win like this came in 2008 when Obama got elected president. I feel like that was our last big win. Like when Black America was like, okay, and we thought, nigga, we made it. And now it's like these people. And with Chauvin, it's kind of like about time. Like it's not even about time. You had to. I think Ahmaud Arbery would be a better example of seeing how the justice system reacts and how the justice system is set up, because it's to me is an open and shut case, but at the same time, the defense can pull up other factors. There's no kneeling on somebody's neck for 9 minutes, which has never been done. I wish in our court of law, it's like, you know what? To prove how kneeling on somebody's neck for 9 minutes does not affect their, Mr. Chauvin, come here. Please lay on the ground. Let me handcuff you. And if you survive this 9-minute kneel on your neck, case dismissed. That's all. That's it.
Salem witch trial type.
Yeah, just like, yeah. If I kneel on your neck for 9 minutes,
you're
alive, you're good.
If you're alive, you're a witch. If you die, you died.
Yeah,
but you weren't a witch.
You know what? That's it. Oh, man. What you got for us, Buff, man?
All righty. So, 2 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Lil Nas X had a look at Ferg face. Had a hit song called Old Town Road.
It's been that long?
Yeah, it was 2019. And a few weeks ago, he dropped a song and video called Montero, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And he has
say your name or whatever it is.
Yes. And he has social media talking, Ferg. I'm sure you didn't see the video, but I will describe some of it for you. He is Adam at the beginning of the video in the Garden of Eden. He talks to a serpent. He winds up he thinks he's going to heaven. He winds up sliding down a pole to hell. The devil is sitting in his throne.
I don't know if that was a typo or you said sliding down a pole?
Yeah.
Like a stripper pole?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sit back.
Yep. Just like the one big boy had in this house. And the devil's sitting in his throne, and he rides him and gives him a lap dance.
I don't know if that was a typo, but you said... You said he rode him and gave him a lap dance?
Yes. That is correct.
Hold on. Lil Nas X or the devil?
Lil Nas X gave the devil a lap dance.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure did. Yep.
Sorry.
And he kills the devil at the end. If that makes some Christians happen, he took his horns and put some on his own head, and I guess he becomes the devil. I don't know. But that's not my question. My question is, and I actually hate these type of questions, but I'm going to do it anyway. I hate when people just present something and say thoughts. Like thoughts is not a question. You know what I mean? But with that description of that video, because it was split for, it was people that were like, it's great that he's showing his artistic expression and, we need to be accepting of all people and his sexuality. And the only reason you people have a problem with it is because he's gay, which is not true because I saw WAP get just as much criticism. However, so he got some support. And of course, he got some criticism because he's lap dancing the damn devil. My question to you, brothers, is, well, Ferg, I know you didn't watch the video. But after that description, do you have an issue with that? Razi, do you have an issue with that? Because his hit song that was 17 weeks #1 on Billboard, Old Town Road, was about adultery and using drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And kids were singing it and parents didn't have a problem with it. So why is this one getting so much? Is it because of the visual? What are your issues with this, if you have any?
Yeah, because the song is actually tamer than Old Town Road. If you listen to the song's actually not that bad. So it really, the backlash is really from the video. And I don't have a problem with it because it is art. Nobody complained. Well, folks did complain about, Rob Zombie coming out with Dig Through the Ditches and Burn Through the Witches. Nobody talked about Marilyn Manson and the iconography and his stuff. You had, what was it, Bad Romance, Lady Gaga, those videos. So this isn't new. And this iconography is not new, and them using it. And truthfully, if you look at the art of the entire video, like you said, he starts off as Adam. He talks to the serpent, thinks he's going to heaven, slides down the pole. You can say stripping, doing unsavory things, ends up in hell, and then he has to make it his own. And then he even came back and talked about, he's like, look, I was told I was going to hell all my life for my sexuality. So now in my video, I go to hell and I live what y'all told me I was going to live. And now you got a problem with it. So I don't really have a problem with that. Is it the same way with WAP? Is it for my kids? No. And that's where it comes down to individual parenting and knowing what my kids watch and what my kids don't watch. My kids don't watch WAP. My kids don't watch, these types of videos, but they don't really watch videos for real anyway at this age. And once they start watching videos, I feel comfortable my 10-year-old, 11-year-old, at that point, they can watch that video and they can appreciate it for the art. Or, if all they want to watch WAP, man, you can watch WAP. It is what it is. So my thing is, it's individual accountability for the parent, whether they're going to let that child watch that or not. It's the same thing, no different than watching an R-rated movie or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. So I got no problem with it. Do your thing, Lil Nas X.
Dog. Kudos to Lil Nas X. If this would have been Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, any of these female rappers, this video would be up for Video of the Year. No questions asked. The cinematography, everything about this video, outside of it being a gay man, and I don't necessarily agree with the devil and all this, but this is probably one of the best videos I've seen in a while. Like, if you watch the video and think about any other person outside of him, a female doing this, they will win all kind of awards. Just point blank. And I'm not just him. The costumes, I didn't even really get to listen to the lyrics, but the song sounded better than Old Town Road. Like, I don't like Old Town Road. It sounds catchy and like somebody did it, like a beat we did in the 90s or some shit. Like, this shit sounds like some Shakira type shit. Something like, it sounded like Cardi B or somebody. Cardi B she would be a legend if she did this video with this song. No questions asked. We're hypocrites. It goes deeper than Lil Nas X. We talk about WAP. We brought up WAP, but we listened to My Neck, My Back when we were younger. We listened to all these the videos males were talking about. I forgot, what was it? 8-Ball MJG song that you were talking about a few weeks ago, Byron, that you were saying, like, I forgot what
you were talking about, yeah, like whip down or whatever it was.
It's like
we pick and choose when we're high and mighty. And this is one of those we pick and choose because it makes us uncomfortable. Homosexuality makes people uncomfortable, period. When you challenge Christianity and the norms that we're used to, it makes people uncomfortable. So this is a double negative. There's no way he could win for anybody who is automatically going to look at this as being offended. Like when you were telling me about it, I didn't expect this. This is a work of art, bro. And I'm not a Nas X fan. I gained more respect of his artistry from this video and this song than I did from Old Town Road. Yeah, and I've heard about this video, and I'm like, I'm not about to go look at that shit.
Yeah, he helped direct it too. So, yep.
The dude has talent. Like, I thought he was a one-hit wonder. He still might be because people aren't going to appreciate his work and his artistry. But this, I can't name a video I've seen in the last few years that was, maybe I don't watch enough videos, but I feel like this was a good video.
Mm-hmm. The alpha males are doing the Arthur fist right now at you too. Believe that.
I get it. But like, dude, go watch it again and think of do what I just said. Think of Cardi B, freaking Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, any of those chicks doing that. Mm-hmm. And this video would be dope. Instead of being Adam, they're Eve, talking to the serpent. This would be like, man, Beyonce's on a whole nother level. Cardi B's transcended. Yeah. You know,
you'd be able to appreciate the actual like storyline and the plot of the video if it was from a female aesthetic.
Now it would be controversial because of Christianity, but now it's doubly.
Yeah, don't even switch it up. Make it the devil was a female. And he was dancing on her more like, you know, on some kind of manlier lap dance type thing. Mm. And it still wouldn't have been no issue. All it is, the only issue that everybody really has is because it's a male on male situation.
And here's the thing. So I don't want to pretend that, you know, the Cardi B's with the WAP don't get their share of criticism. I don't want to pretend that, you know, Luke and Two Live Crew didn't get their criticism in the 90s. They're the reason we have parental advisory explicit lyric labels on albums. However, it's more visceral when it's a black gay man. And you guys are saying, you know, if it was Cardi B or whatever, if he was a white dude, he would probably be on the cover of Time right now for bravery.
Damn, think about that.
You know what I mean? Like if he was a white dude doing this, he would be called brave. And we all know, you know, in the black community, we are a little bit more resistant of homosexuality in the gay community. So he catches it from us and then he gets ignored by the masses. Like I haven't seen this. I only saw this on Twitter. I haven't seen this on any type of media.
If it's we're more offended or when it comes to a black male being, black people accept Caitlyn Jenner. Mm, yeah, they're more accepting of Caitlyn Jenner than they are Lil Nas X.
Mm-hmm. So I asked this question because I wanted to get you guys' opinion on it because he made a great point. Like his hit song is about sin. It's about sin. So that takes away the whole argument of we don't like Montero because he's twerking on a devil and that's sinful. No, you guys celebrated Old Town Road. That's about taking drugs and adultery, which are both sins. So you can't criticize this for that.
Even in second, the Panini song, it was still about like adultery and cheating and stuff.
Yeah. So I just put it like this. I will say this. Whether you like the song, hate the song, or the video, you have to admit he had time that day. When that video dropped, he was like responding to everybody on Twitter. Like like Razi mentioned him saying, you know, I've been told I'm going to hell all my life. I go to hell and y'all still mad. Like he even came out the next day because it was like he's coming out with these shoes that Nike apparently didn't have anything to do with. So people were like getting mad at Nike at first. So the next day he was like, we go drop these Chick-fil-A's. Y'all happy now? Like,
his clapback was
man. So he was ready for all of it. And, that's all I gotta say. Any alpha male that's listening that, thinks we're beta males and disagree, come fight me. Like,
see how beta we are.
Exactly. Let's see how alpha you are. Let's go.
Agreed, bro. Like, it's just, when you were describing it, because I'm not there yet. I'm just kind of like, you're just like, really? And then when you saw it, it's like, dude, this is art. Like, this is a good video. The song, the beat, everything about it. It's pretty, like, I would have to listen to it again, which I'm probably not, because that just doesn't appeal to me. But like, if you look at it at one time, just like if you listen to a country song or a rock and roll song, it's like, oh, this is pretty dope. I'm not gonna go buy their album, but you're like, gotta respect it. Like, hey,
you got
if it's on the radio, I'm not gonna change. That's about where I am with it. It's like I ain't changing when it's on, but at the same time, I'm not like, oh, that's my jam.
So you guys don't have a problem with the government purposely making black males homosexuals to destroy the community.
Oh, the black agenda, destroying the community. The gay agenda.
Umar would be disappointed in you brothers.
I know,
doctor. You say you put doctor in front of his name.
My bad. My bad, doctor.
The honorable doctor.
That's my bad.
Even though he hasn't produced his doctorate, like, I don't know where he got that doctorate from.
Well, throw an honorable in there too, because that makes it even more.
You only asking him to produce it because he's black, Razi. If he was white, you would just take his word for it.
These are the same people that was asking. Brother. So now you're a birther. You're a doctor.
I'm a
So they did the same thing to Obama.
Feminizing the black man.
So because he's black, because he get f***ing crazy. But yeah.
So my question, we might lose some listeners over this one.
Oh.
And I think we might have talked about this before. So I saw a post today. It says, why can't black men ask black women to smile? Is that too much to ask? Is that really an issue?
Oh, boy.
Who wants to take that one on?
So, here's the thing. I've seen black women complain about this, but I myself have been a victim of why aren't you smiling comments before. So I get it too from women, from people in general, like, why aren't you smiling? And I just don't think you should just walk around smiling like the Joker all day, every day. So that's why I don't ask black women why they aren't smiling. I will say this, though. There's an in-between. You don't necessarily have to be smiling, but you don't have to carry around a scar on your face all day.
Mm-hmm.
We call that a rest face.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can... And listen, it's your face. You have a right to look however you want. However, don't get mad at how the public and others perceive you. All right? And so if you are a single woman in particular that walks around, as Ferg say, with the resting face, then maybe something as simple as not having a resting face. What's the saying? You attract more bees with honey than with what is it, vinegar or oil, whatever the fuck it is. Like, it's nothing wrong. I don't think everyone should be walking around smiling. I think that looks I almost said the R word. I think that looks ridiculous. Use the other R word. But you can just look more approachable. You don't have to look mean, but I don't think it's our place to just ask, hey, like, I don't think it's our place to ask women, hey, why aren't you smiling? You should smile more. You too cute to smile. Like, that's lame as hell to me. You're too cute to look that mean. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Like, you're too cute.
It's a bad come on line, bro.
Man,
that's all it is,
man. Like, come on. You got to come.
It's like I used to tell girls that were tall. I was like, if you was like a 1 inch taller, I might be interested. Like, it's to bring them down a little bit. So, because y'all know I do like tall women. That was kind of my thing. So yeah, I got to bring them down and let them know that I'm not intimidated by your height. Mm-hmm. We can still do this thing. So
climb that tree.
But I think it's a hard one because fellas, mind your business. Like, it's not your place to tell her to smile or whatever. She doesn't have to smile. Like, if you were talking about the single woman and she can, attract more with the smile or with honey. Maybe she's just not trying to attract anybody right now. Maybe she's trying to get to work and she late and she worried about what's going on. And so she just trying to get where she's going, or, she's just chilling. And I hear a lot of them say, this is just my face. And maybe that is it. It's not that they are mad or anything. Jenica had a resting face. Like, folks used to think she was mad. But then you guys know when, she felt comfortable or whatever, then she'll start smiling and she light up. But it was because she was so introverted that she just that was her face when she wasn't open to everybody. And so for you to say, hey, why aren't you smiling? Why don't you smile more? It's like that naturally was her. And so I get it. And so for fellas, mind your business. You don't need to tell them to smile more. Find a better come online if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to shoot your shot, call them too short. Tell them they too tall. Do something. I don't know.
Well, I just like to be this way today because it's just been one of those days. So I'm going to just disagree to disagree. Screw what you said, Razi. Leave your resting face at home. And I say that because it's two parts. I'm just joking. So I remember being single and hitting. So I kind of had that. It was my line was like, smile, Jesus loves you. Well, I'm guessing. I don't know how y'all relationship is, but I'm just, me and him cool. And so it would be a little joke, but it wasn't just because, I was just like, I think women should smile and you're in my presence, you should smile. Because I've heard women say that, like, we don't always need to be smiling. Who walks around smiling all day? But there's times when, you're just, and myself included, it's just not a female thing. Like Byron said, people tell me to smile all the time. And sometimes you're not aware of the energy. I'm a firm believer in energy and the energy you're giving off. And the reason this stuck with me and the reason I'm doing this, and I responded earlier today on the question is, what's today? Friday, maybe 2 nights ago, my daughter asked me, my 6-year-old daughter said, Daddy, why don't you smile more? It's okay to smile. And it made me, and then when I saw this question today, it made me think of that. It's like, it was a reminder that sometimes it's not always that serious. You don't always, like, your energy, like my daughter felt my tension. My daughter felt those things. It's, it's not always, it could be a stranger like, hey, you know what? Hey, smile, it's okay. Like, it's not just like I'm smiling, I'm hitting on you. It's like, hey, the energy you're giving off, maybe it's just a reminder that, hey, things are better. It could be better. And you can take it how you want. But to me, that was just a reminder. I sat in that for like all night. I'm like, damn, that hurt my heart. It made me really reflect on that. And it's just sometimes like, I have a serious face. I'm always thinking I could be intimidating to a lot of people because I'm so intense. And it reminded me, like, you don't have to be that way sometimes. And I think I have good energy. I think when you get to know me, like, I'm fun. I like to joke. I like to have, do it all. But it's like, you might not be yourself around me because I'm so intense. So, hey, man, it's okay to be, and I know you're not always this intense. Even when you're not intense, you look intense. So, hey, it's shit ain't going on, nigga. Smile, nigga. Like, tell yourself a joke. And sometimes it's just that. And you don't have to take, it's not that serious. It's not like black men saying, hey, you're a woman, smile. And I think some people have that, like women should walk around smiling. F them. What it is sometimes sometimes it's just really like, hey, I'm noticing your energy. Maybe me telling you to smile, or maybe not even telling you, me reminding you that it's okay. Like sometimes you need that general reminder in life. And maybe that's just a one-off experience and I'm just in my feelings because my daughter told me that. But I saw that and I'm like, you know what? I've known people that just saw, man, I thought you were so mean. You were always intense. I was intimidated by you. I'm like, me? Yeah, I'm goofy as hell. I like to have fun. I don't take most things too serious outside of my household.
Yeah, but like that's cool if you know that person. if you generally see them and it's not like it's not the norm, and so you could be like, hey, what's going on, smile, or that type of thing, but you don't know what's going on in that person's life for them to be like that, especially if it's a stranger. Think about the week after Greg passed, the week after your mom passed, the week after Jenica passed, and you walking around and you got that rest face because you just, the weight of the world's on you right now, and somebody come and just be like, smile, it's not that bad. It is that bad. Like for me right now, it is that bad. So
but you have the chance to make that decision. You have the chance to make that decision. You can take it how that, or it's like, you know what, you're right. Let me take a step back. Like because it is. I don't think there's a right or wrong, especially if they have good intentions. I think sometimes it's just people have good intentions. We talk about random acts of kindness. Me telling you to smile is like me holding the door open for you. Like me buying you're behind me in Starbucks and me buying your drink. It's just like, hey, you know what? Hey man, smile. It's a beautiful day outside. Whatever's bothering you, like I'm stressed with work sometimes. Hey man, it's a beautiful day outside. If somebody told me that, it's like, man, go sit out and do your work. Go work on the patio. It's like, you know what? Let me go work on the patio. It's something that reminds me to just take a step back. It's not great. It could be worse. And not to get into that cliche stuff, but it's like, you can take it or leave it. Like, nigga, f you, I want to be mad today. And just be mad today. It's fine. And that just made you even madder. But it was just there's, I think, more times than not, things aren't as bad as we make them. And sometimes that gentle reminder that, hey, your smile might make somebody else smile. Like, man, that dude Razi, man, I know he's going through a lot, but man, just seeing him smile today made me smile. And that's not your job to make me smile. But like I said, I believe in energy. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I think if you have that, you should be happy all the time, or you're a woman, you should be smiling, or your life can't be that bad. Nigga, fuck you. You don't know my life. But at the same time, maybe they have, like, hey man, maybe nobody's reminded him. Like I've seen him for the last 3 days. I walk by him every day in Starbucks, and he's always just. I would love to see that young brother happy. Hey, young man, hey, smile sometimes. I tell some of my lamplighters that, hey, dude, I got one lamplighter. I literally say my goal every time we meet is to see him smile, at least once, because I know things aren't as bad as he make. He has a good mom. He's young. He's 15, 16 years. You got the rest of your life ahead of you, dude. Like you don't have to be this tough. Like, and I joke, I got it. I see him smile. And then when he starts, he can't stop smiling because he knows I'm making him smile. Like, there it goes. Oh, don't try to cover it up now. Like, and he's fighting to smile. Like, come on, dude. You don't got to be that tough. And it can be contagious. It might be what you needed that day. Smiling never hurt anybody at the end of the day. I don't know. I don't have the statistics on that, but smiling has never hurt anybody.
I read comic books, and the Joker be doing some crazy stuff with smiles, but no, just
that made me smile, dude. It's been a tough day. Getting on this podcast today.
I get it because I am that ham that wants to make people smile. Like that energy you talk about, I try to bring that energy in, and people, and I talk about how I put the mask on. No matter what I'm feeling, I put the mask on, and I'm gonna smile because I do want to give people that energy of that positive energy, and it's tiring sometimes, but. I see where women are coming from with it, because if you get it all the time,
I get that.
So that's I think where you've got to be really careful when you're using that. If you're using it just to make them smile, if it's not a come on, and I think that's a little bit of it too. And maybe we need to get some ladies on to talk through it, because it may be a little bit of just how the guy says it. It just may come off creepy or just annoying. Like if. Because you can tell, are they kind of shooting their shot, flirting with you, or if like you were just like, hey, smile, Jesus love you, and you keep rolling on about your day, it's a little different. It might go over a little different with them if you did that. So it's a little bit of all of it, man.
Yeah. And I think you can take it how you want, but I don't think it has to be like like men need to mind their own damn business. It's like maybe he has a goal every day to make one person smile. Would the world be that much better if everybody's goal that day was to make one person smile? And that's that sappy, blippy shit we were talking about the other day when we were in Mobile. smiling never hurt anybody. You can take it how you want, and it doesn't. Yeah, there's some people I think that have this notion that this is how you're supposed to carry yourself. But if somebody's always telling you that, maybe that's the energy you're giving off. We talk about going to therapy and stuff. Maybe you have deeper issues. I'm thinking like, man, when do I look happy? Like if that's the energy I'm giving off to my family and my kids, maybe I need to talk about that more. Maybe I need to find out what makes me smile more. That's how I took it. I could be like, you're 6 years old. I'm paying for this and this and this. Mind your goddamn business. Stay at a grown folks. But it's like, man, my daughter noticed that about me. Maybe I need to look within and figure out what that is. Like, I don't want my daughter to remember my daddy as somebody who was never happy. And that's why I said I looked at that, because prior to this conversation, I was kind of like, yeah, mind your own business to a certain extent. I was more leaning on that room or that wall. But now it's kind of like, now that the last person that told me it was a 6-year-old, it hit different. You know? So I'm done, fellas. What y'all got?
A couple things. One, I'm going to take your word for it, ladies. We posted, do women care about what men want? And pretty much every woman responded. See, this is why we need to do YouTube, so people can know why I'm laughing. Because Razi's shaking his head no. Well, the women said, yes, they do care, Razi. They said they do care what men want. I didn't want to get too deep into it because I didn't want to argue, but
do it.
The reason I posted that is because I've seen a lot of posts from women that say, hey, we do this for us. We don't care what y'all like. We don't care what y'all want. It's not for y'all. It's for us. I see that a lot. And so I didn't want to be a prisoner of my own prism. So that's why I posted the question on our platform. And it was encouraging to see the women say, yes, of course we care what men want. So that's one thing. The other thing is, listen, we do this for free. We take time out of our day to entertain you guys, and we appreciate the listens. Only thing we ask is that you guys check out 3brothersnosense.com and copy some merch. We got t-shirts, we got masks, hats, bottles, coffee cups, whatever you can think of, we pretty much got it. And we got it at an extremely low cost. So just check us out, 3brothersnosense.com. Click on, 3B merch. Click on 3B merch, man, and copy a shirt, copy your hat, something, show your support. It helps spread the word for us. We don't care about making a profit. We more or less want to spread the word of the show. So we just ask that you do that for us and continue to listen. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and I'm gonna real quick. The reason why I say no, and I will kind of say, it's not that I say no, they don't care what men think. I feel like they care more about what other women think than what men think. That's really, like, most guys I talk to don't like eyelashes, but for some reason y'all love them. Most guys I know don't care about those little rolls on the side of your belly, but for some reason you feel like you got to get rid of them. You don't care.
Please speak on the wigs. Are you gonna speak on the wigs?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, because I can't stand a wig. It's like not, yeah. So, it looks good in a picture, but then when you see it in person, you're just like, it's so, yeah, it's very, very different. So stop tricking the brothers, posting pictures with the eyelashes and the wigs and the full face makeup and everything, and then just flipping it on us. We really don't care. Like we want to like you for you, but we don't. We got to figure out who that is.
It's a Chris Rock joke right there.
So.
But my party shot though. I just real quick wanted to shout out or a quick moment of silence, I guess, for DMX, Black Robb, and the homie Shock G.
Yes, thank you.
AKA Humpty Hump. So real quick, just a moment of silence for them. And I want to shout out Method Man and Redman for 420. Can't forget them. Had a great time watching that. I love Meth and Red ever since the Rottweiler. And so been rocking with them, and I mean, you know, Meth with Woo and all of that. But so that was a great concert on 420. Thanks Trilla for that, because y'all definitely can't do boxing matches, so we ain't gonna talk too much about that.
Well,
so
Razi,
appreciate the concert.
Well, Razi, you haven't put your foot in your mouth in a while, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. Ladies, do what you want to do. This is your world. You're a woman of the 90s. Do what you want to do. Wear your wigs, wear your lashes.
It's 2021.
Wear whatever you want to wear. You know, you don't have to appease these men. Yeah. They should love you for you, baby.
Yeah. Shock G said, "Do what you like."
Yep.
Do what you like. Yeah. So, don't live up to their standards. You don't put on your wig and your eyelashes. And what else do we say they do, Razi?
The full front
waist trainer,
full face
waist trainer.
It makes them feel special, makes them feel beautiful, and that's what they like to do. Mm-hmm. So you do you.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is I can't say nothing because, you know, they put all that on and they get 1,000 likes, and then they take a regular picture and they get like 3. So, you know, I see why they do it, because they get that attention
because men don't know what you want. And that's why they don't care what you want. Because you don't know what you want.
Which is why they don't care. I go back to the initial point.
So I'm going to leave with this. So going back on our show last week, we on the worst dates ever.
Oh, man.
Both of my worst dates, we communicated over the week, and we're on good terms now. We had conversations about it, and I pretty much got, I guess, somewhat of an apology, as much as, you know, women will apologize. So,
what, they ask you were you hungry?
Yeah, well, speaking of that, just so y'all know, Tabitha and I have been dating since 9th grade. You best believe she Googled when Waiting to Exhale came out, because she wanted to make sure that the rubbing on the thigh was before her.
That was 8th grade, right?
Yes. So I came out clean, brother.
Yeah. I mean, in that same episode, you know, I talked about me being shit. I want to say I appreciate the folks that reached out and showed me love and was like, "We understand, Razi, why you ain't shit, so you ain't got to worry about that."
They didn't say you weren't. They said we understand why.
No, they didn't say that. They said they understand why. So it's okay. So I appreciate that, though. That outpouring of love made me feel a little bit better about it.
I mean, you ain't shit, but I mean, it's understood. So it was good to confirm. I've had people reach out trying to figure out who the first young lady was, and I will keep protecting her name and her innocence. So because that was my version of the story. And so, but no, it was a good episode. Again, fellas, enjoyed it. To the family of George Floyd, I know this doesn't bring George back, but hopefully this gives you some peace, some sense of justice. And maybe this is the beginning of something new. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you for all that you shared with us. To the people that participate in the trial, the witnesses, you guys did a great job. You represented yourselves well. And I hope that we can learn from that. And everything that defense threw at them, trying to discredit them, did not work. To the jurors, thank you guys for standing by and doing the right thing for a change. I was even, you know, if you read about it, they said the jurors looked at Chauvin the whole time. They wanted him to, they looked directly at him like, we got you. And there was no people looking away or just not happy with the results or didn't believe in what they produced. So for the most part, I'm proud of how that ended up. So 3 Brothers No Sense. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. Talk to you guys next week.